This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Training completed to improve government services via new digital platform. Also, a family in mourning after a tragic boating accident claims alive. West Grand Bahama grieves the loss of a beloved community giant.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Registrar General, in partnership with the Attorney General's Office and the Ministry of Legal Affairs, launching a new digital platform known as CARS, the Corporate Administrative Registry Service. Here's what this means for you, the consumer.
If you're a financial and corporate...
The Registrar General Department has introduced a new digital platform, the Corporate Administrative Registry Service, to streamline access for corporate citizens to upload and retrieve documents. To ensure proper utilization of this platform, a training session was held at the Pelican Bay Hotel to guide users on its effective use.
The Registrar General's Department would have conducted training last year in the CARS online system. We would have conducted the rollout for the new online platform system in Nassau. We thought that in light of us conducting the workshop in Nassau, it was important to share the knowledge on the CARS system with individuals, law firms, and financial corporate service providers on the island of Grand Bahama.
With the intent to go paperless, the agency adapted a software from the Cayman Islands. Supervisor of companies Shanika Knowles and Chinelo Sayers, HR manager in the Freeport office, shares how this transition will offer greater efficiency to the department's services.
This platform allows for business owners to no longer have to come into the office of the Registrar General. It allows for a hassle-free transaction where they can upload their business documents, get good standings from the comfort of their home or office.
The link actually takes you straight into the platform. So after the registration process has been done, you would, with an individual, you just get an entity verification and you're good to go.
Former Deputy Chief Magistrate Rangan Johnson and Attorney Wendell Smith giving their take on the new launch.
I think it's a great initiative. The overall platform seems to be pretty user-friendly. Thankfully, the team from New Providence came down to Grand Bahama to give us an actual hands-on take with using the platform, let us know about the fees, and also let us know about the initial phase.
It's going to make our job much easier. We're going to give excellent services internationally as well as locally. And I'm very happy.
The CARS platform was first announced in the House of Assembly in June 2024, but officially came into effect at the start of this year. The waters surrounding Grand Bahama are set to become home to an extraordinary underwater sculpture museum, a bold fusion of art, nature, and innovation. Spearheaded by the Blue Action Lab, the project will feature towering marine installations, each over 6 feet tall, resting on the ocean floor near a nationally protected site. This unique initiative aims to draw global attention while offering an unforgettable experience for both international visitors and local explorers. Matthew Martinborough brings us the full story.
Presenting a combination of art, history, and marine conservation all in one, Blue Action Lab is leading the way on a project, the creation of Grand Bahama's first underwater sculpture museum. Alongside partners, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Waterkeepers Bahamas, and the Bahamas National Trust, the museum, similar to the one at Clifton Heritage National Park in New Providence, will display 4 statue pieces towering over 6 feet in height along the ocean floor at the Peterson Key National Park. Grand Bahama Port Authority Vice President of Building and Development Services, Nakira Wilchcombe, says the Oceanic Artistic Gallery will feature pieces made by Bahamian artist Andra John.
The Bahamians that are going to see this project one day are going to be proud of what is going to be unveiled, because it is a clear demonstration of the stories of our past that are brought to life by these sculptures. And so I know that they're going to be pleased with what they're going to see. Mr. John is already under the gun in terms of making first sculpture and unveiling that first sculpture of a Tino Indian. And he's going to proceed with looking at a chief. He's also going to look at Bahamian settlement. He's going to focus on the forefathers of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. And so that's just to name a few of the sculptures that will be represented under this project.
Blue Action Lab Program Manager Anne-Marie Carroll and Executive Director of Waterkeepers Bahamas, Andorra Doxson, are both inviting the public to bask in the beauty of the gallery upon its completion.
We're going to be unveiling 4 sculptures, and they will attract tourists as well as local people. We want to get our Bahamian people in the waters and in our national parks, which is where we're going to put these sculptures. They'll be in Peterson Key National Park. We try to encourage the Bahamian public to not be so shy about the water. We're surrounded by water. So one of our initiatives is to try help the community to be comfortable in the water. So this is very exciting for us.
Bahamas National Trust Director of Parks, Ellsworth Ware, shares his excitement for the museum's completion, not as a gallery, but as a soon-to-be marine life habitat.
These sculptures look very clean right now, but they will grow into corals, and that will, really help to boost the biodiversity that's currently at the park. So for us, as Anne-Marie would have mentioned earlier, it's all about getting Bahamians and visitors into national parks, and this is one of the ways that we can do that.
The Underwater Sculpture Museum at Peterson Key National Park is estimated to be open to the public in late August of 2025. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Also tonight, the West End community is in mourning following the death of a son of the soil and a well-known businessman. Artis Neely is known for his legacy of entrepreneurship and the way he helped shape the political landscape on Grand Bahama. An outpour of love coming in following the death of this community giant. Our Shalia Rule has more on the life and legacy of Artis Neely.
He was regarded as a man that worked steadily behind the scenes for the progress and development of West End. His wisdom, his steady hand, and his devotion to community, many say that Artis Neely will be missed.
Grew up as a little boy in West End. There was more than 40 stores on the main road in West End. I'm talking about liquor stores, drug store, grocery stores, any type of store you can name. They were like maybe 100 feet apart. And there was a tremendous amount of activity.
A true son of the soil, Neely spent most of his life in West End watching the community through many phases, including the booming hotel era and even the many factories that were stationed in that area. Artis Neely was able to see the triumphs and trials in the community and became an integral part as a businessman. But even more so, he contributed through the political and progressive landscape of the West Grand Bahama community from a young age. This true West End native was also a part of shaping the way for Warren J. Lavarity in the political sector at just 18 years old, when he was chosen to assist in leading the campaign at a time when he was not even eligible to vote, and while his family supported the Bay Street Boys. In a candid interview back in 2023, he shared how he branched out to support the new movement that was set to become the Progressive Liberal Party.
I couldn't vote, but I had the ability to run the campaign.
The news of his death sending shockwaves throughout the country. Extending condolences to this giant of a man is Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis. In his press release, he says Artis Neely lived with purpose and that he stood for something, stating that the progressive cause shaped decades of political and economic life in West Grand Bahama. Also adding that Neely was a guide and a friend during his early days in Grand Bahama, adding that he helped to shape his path both law and politically. Also giving condolences is the chairman for the Progressive Liberal Party, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, who says that no one could doubt the commitment of Artis Neely to the Progressive Liberal Party's cause, as he was the solid for multiple generations of leaders in Grand Bahama and on the national scene, also stating that he is also experiencing personal loss, as Neely played a major part in his political and business involvement in Grand Bahama. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie also releasing a statement to offer condolences, adding that Artis Neely was a living voice of history for Grand Bahama, shaping the transformation of communities and preserving the narrative of our shared progress, and that Neely's early advocacy for a fairer Bahamas and his steadfast belief in an independent nation reflected a vision far ahead of his time. And Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini Kingsley Smith offering condolences as well, stating that Neely was more than just an avid businessman, but a cornerstone for the West End community. His unwavering dedication and love for West End was evident in all that he did.
I pray every day that at some point the Lord could convince the masses of the people in our communities to remember Christ and to think about loving one another.
Now, Artis Neely died in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Though departed, his voice, values, and visions will continue through generations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Rule.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Catch the Easter sale at Esquire's during the month of April. Buy one suit and get a shirt and tie absolutely free. Give them a call today at 352-8816.
Get ready for the Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition 2, happening May 1st and 2nd. Network, explore, and grow with top industry leaders. Register today at freeportbusinessexpo.com.
Number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Today is Earth Day, a time of the year to acknowledge the present and future environment conserving efforts across the world. However, it is also a time to reflect on the damages done to our natural habitats throughout the past. For example, the precious lives of the coral reefs and mangrove forests our Bahama land deeply treasures. Founder of Blue Action Lab, Rupert Hayward, says any initiative done by tourists or locals to protect our home terrains are greatly appreciated.
If we don't experience something in life, we don't understand it. If we don't understand it, we don't fall in love with it. And if we don't fall in love with it, then we don't want to protect it. And our natural marine environments are under threat. Our coral reefs are dying. We have less biodiversity in the ocean than we've ever had before. Our fisheries are being affected. And so what we want to do is create something that not just tourists will come and see, but also Bahamians.
And Chief Reef Officer at Coral Vista, Sam Teicher, says educating the public on the importance of conservation efforts are solely due to the Bahamas' reliance on a healthy marine environment.
In places like the Bahamas, you think about tourism, you think about fishing. Those are two of the biggest industries in this country. And when those hurricanes come through, coral reefs, mangrove forests, they draw in those tourists, they make sure that there's fish out in the sea, and as we experienced during Hurricane Dorian, they protect us from storm surges. So what we're doing here at Conservation Cove at Coral Vita is regrowing these ecosystems so that everyone in the Bahamas and more places around the world can benefit from them.
That's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, VJ Edcom, let's just say we'll have another Bahamian that will be in the NBA, hopefully in the next 2 months. So maybe you'll be in somewhere.
Can't wait to have those news. That's a look at stories making news. But first, your local weather forecast is up next.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
And on to some sad news tonight. A boating expedition turning tragic in Grand Bahama, leaving one family devastated. The vessel carrying 3 men capsized, leaving 1 dead. And tonight, the family of the victim, Leslie Roll Jr., opens up about the profound difficulty of moving forward without him. Here's that report. What started out as a regular fishing day on Good Friday is now what could be deemed one of the worst days in the life of Leslie Roll's family. According to police reports, shortly before 1 p.m., a small boat approximately 15 feet in length capsized. Tragically, Leslie Roll Jr. is one of the 3 men who was on board that died. The heartbreaking loss leaving a deep void in the hearts of his family and friends.
Friday, a friend of mine had called and had asked me for Leslie if he's at work. And I told him no, he went fishing. I guess the information was sketchy to him at the time, and he said, okay, I'll call you right back. He didn't sound frantic or anything, just I'll call you right back. And the minute he hanged up, I grabbed my keys and I started to go at the hospital, told the girls I was coming back. And I left and proceeded to go to the hospital.
Renee Roll, the wife of Leslie Jr., said she felt something was wrong, a deep instinct only a wife could understand after receiving a call about her husband's whereabouts. Though she hadn't yet been told the full details, her intuition led her to the hospital. When she arrived, she was met with the harrowing sight of ambulances and a nearby hearse. Moments later, she received the devastating confirmation.
At 12:50, got a distress call. So with them getting a call at 12:50, you're telling me, and I was calling my husband at 12:43, he was drowning.
Renee says seeing her husband lying in the hospital both broke her heart and brought her a strange sense of comfort. Though the sleepless nights continue, she admits that letting go of the man she spent 14 years with will be anything but easy.
That's the people I had. I married the last best thing on God's earth. I'm not just saying that. I just tell people that. And I just tell him that. You know, life is short. Life is short and life is full of uncertainties.
Family and friends also reeling from such a great loss.
And the company will be missed for its leadership. In my life, he'll be missed as a friend.
But we don't mourn like those who have no hope. Our hope is that we're going to see him again.
I thought it was a joke because when I called Vernay, she sounded very confident that, you know, this couldn't be true. So I asked her, I said, where's he? I was hoping that she would have said he was to work.
If there's one word that I can say for Leslie is, Leslie loved family.
Now, as for the other two men who were on the boat on that fateful day, police say they were in stable condition and have been released from the hospital. Leslie Rule Jr. was just 40 years of age. The newscast with the special story of Leslie Jr. Sports is up next after this break with Jay Philippe.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Grand Bahamas' premier entertainment theater on wheels is here. Move More Mobile Gaming. With top-tier consoles, immersive sound, and comfy seating, they deliver the ultimate gaming experience straight to your door. Call or WhatsApp 242-441-6153.
Celebrate the incredible women in your life this Mother's Day. And don't forget the special offer from Cornet Bahamas. From April 16th to May 16th, enjoy a fantastic 35% off store-wide. That's right, everything you need to show your love and appreciation is on sale. Whether it's a heartfelt gift for mom, a treat for yourself, or something special for that amazing woman in your life, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit any one of our stores today. Make this Mother's Day unforgettable with Cornet Bahamas.
Trying your luck doesn't always result in a win. In fact, it's easy to lose track of your spending when gambling regularly. Here are some ways you can gamble responsibly. Utilize financial planners to track your finances. These can be done digitally or on paper. Set a realistic budget and stick to it. And finally, monitor your winnings and losses weekly and monthly.
This message is brought to you by the Gaming Board for the Bahamas.
Grand Bahama, get ready. The Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition is back. Bigger, better, and bolder. Join us May 1st and 2nd of 2025 at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center for 2 days of business, networking, innovation, and opportunity. Dive into the latest tourism trends, connect with top industry leaders, and put your brand in the spotlight. Mark your calendar for May 1st and 2nd, the Freeport Business Expo, where business meets tourism. Register now at freeportbusinessexpo.com.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Top in Sports. VJ Edgecombe officially declared for the NBA draft on Saturday over in Bimini on the park. That story did not come as a surprise, as he is expected to be a top 5 pick according to multiple NBA experts.
Met VJ in his 8th, 9th grade, summertime season, and we connected. Obviously speaking to mom, his brother, about VJ. Worked him out, started to play travel basketball with our organization, South Florida Kings. And we were able to try to harness some of his earlier talents.
He's a manly kid. DJ was very manly. He have respect. He was never one of those to go about mouthing once you talk to him. Yes, sir. You know, yesterday I spoke with him, man, and everything was yes, sir, and that's the main thing.
VJ is a Bimonite, and we're so proud to have him home, and we're just so proud of what's happening in his life.
Next in sports, a softball clinic was held in Abaco on Saturday morning during the Nigel Boodle Senior Ladies and Men's Softball Tournament. It was an opportunity for youngsters in Abaco to learn the game from some of the best players in the tournament.
We have over 50, almost 60 athletes out here, both male and female. You know, what we try to do in Friends for Life, we're on a promotional tour, developing softball throughout the island, and these young kids are part and parcel to the development plan that we have for softball as a country.
On the Curfta swim side, Team Bahamas is on a quest for a 7-peat. A number of swimmers from Grand Bahama has been pulling their weight over in Trinidad and Tobago.
There's more Nasuvians than Grand Bahamians. We still do our job,
and we get the medals and help Team Bahamas win for sure.
Grand Bahama's been doing good. Dexter Russell, Isabella Cucurulo, they all been thriving. They all been doing well. They've been getting medals, gold medals. Tristan and me, so I also been making finals and getting medals and trying our best.
And last in sports, the Carifta track team finished competition with 37 total medals, placing second behind Jamaica with 78 medals. Team Bahamas earned 16 gold medals, 13 silver medals, and 8 bronze medals. And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lakaya Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play, and learn in paradise when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEFCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a third power deal pledging to slash energy costs and transform the country's electricity landscape, moving the government a step closer to their goal of 30% renewable energy by 2030. And later, gunfire erupts at a local spot flooded with tourists, leaving a man dead in a brazen act. And stay tuned, you can put your green thumbs up. It's Earth Day, and environmental officials are preparing the inheritors of the planet in a valiant push for sustainability and preservation. The Moments tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Devonte Hanna filling in for Makushla Pinder. In a push to reduce energy costs by as much as 15% by 2035, the government today signed another power purchase agreement with hopes of lightening the load on the Bahamian consumer while encouraging further growth in the renewable energy sector. It follows a PPA signing just over a week ago, signaling a continuation of what has been dubbed a new energy era. Our Lloyd Allen is just back from that ceremony and joins me live in studio. Lloyd, what can you tell us about today's events?
Well, of course, good evening, Devonte, and good evening, Bahamas. A third power purchase agreement signed by the government, along with an amended energy policy agenda, is helping the government to live up to its commitment of reducing costs for Bahamians. Now, according to the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, his government has taken note and is attempting to ease the high power cost bills concerns, which were clear at the time the present government took office.
Monthly electricity bills were too high and blackouts too frequent. everyone agreed. But the real dangers were fiscal and infrastructural.
Energy Minister, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, says a new day is approaching, one inclusive of a brand new transmission and generation station producing more than 20 megawatts of power, along with a battery unit.
The PPA we are signing emanated from the request for proposals for New Providence microgrids and the new energy generation via renewables with energy storage systems that was launched by the government of the Bahamas.
The partnership comes by way of dialogue between Bahamas Power and Light, CVB Utility Limited, the Attorney General's Office, and the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. Minister Colby Davis indicates the new power farm will be adjacent to the CV Bethel High School, generating 20 megawatts of power along with 5 megawatt hours of battery energy storage capacity.
Battery energy storage is a critical technology in building sustainable and resilient energy systems. The battery enables the storage of electricity energy generated at one time to be used at a later time. This capability is significant and is vitally important as we move from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources.
Anthony Christie, BPL Chief Operations Officer, also shared the significance of the future enhancement.
Designed to set a new standard for renewable energy deployment on the island, this project combines significant solar generation with cutting-edge storage technology, strengthening the grid and securing cleaner energy for the future. The system is designed to provide renewable firming, limit peak load, and improve reliability, which is definitely a game changer for balancing energy demand across the grid.
CVB Director Justin Cunningham is confident the new system will be a game changer for power generation.
This grid-tied system will export 20 megawatts of power, leveraging cutting-edge photovoltaic storage and technology to stabilize, optimize, and strengthen the national grid. The project represents a major step forward toward energy independence and reduced reliance on imported fossil fuels.
And keeping in mind the recent signing comes weeks after a similar agreement with Eco Energy, EA Energy, and Exuma Renewable Energy Company to transform power supply on New Providence, Exuma, and Abaco, also Eleuthera. Devontae?
All right, thank you so much there, Lloyd, for that report and some welcome news, I'm sure, across the country. Well, still talking other news, the country's record on international trade labor is again under the microscope after alleged leaked documents from a U.S.-based human rights group found that Cuban medical professionals are involved in the medical mission program and were paid as little as 8 to 16% of what the Bahamian government paid for their services. It is said a portion of the money paid goes to a third-party Cuban agency. However, the U.S. has long speculated the alleged practice is being facilitated by the Cuban government, accusing them of labor and other human rights abuse. Now, the situation came to a head last month with the U.S. threatening visa sanctions against officials from countries that knowingly partake in the exercise, calling them complicit in labor and human rights violations. The Davis administration has denied violating those laws, but has promised to review the aspects of the program. Today, speaking on this latest report, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis maintained that stance.
I understand that the Cuban doctors are paid some funds here, and some funds are paid to an agency to ensure that the family members of the doctors here are taken care of whilst they're here. Now, that we are renegotiating, because we cannot, I don't want to say whether we're satisfied or not, but we want to work that in the sense where the doctors themselves decide what they will send back home. At the end of the day, right, we accept the principle that the doctors should be paid directly. Any worker, just as any other worker here, be paid directly, and what they do with their funds after that is up to them.
Meantime, the opposition leader Michael Pintard supports the Cuban medical mission program, which has been touted by stakeholders as being crucial to the country's healthcare sector, but that did not stop him from issuing this warning.
The government has to be concerned about some of the rhetoric that it engages in. We ought to work with our partners in the region, not just in the Caribbean, but also with the U.S., and we do so taking into consideration our interests first and foremost. But if a matter is raised that we ought to look at more closely, we should simply take it.
Well, 80% of our country's imports come from the United States and 10% from other countries, but new geopolitical tensions have created uncertainty about the country's ability to source the goods needed for survival. That is why the Bahamas Trade Commission is seeking new avenues, and today its chairman is in Ghana, Africa, doing just that. Felicity Darville reports.
It was a royal welcome home for Senator Barry Griffin and MP Kingsley Smith. Home because many Bahamians descend from the people of Ghana and the west coast of Africa. The Afro-Caribbean Global Business Trade Show is historic. Led by Bahamians, policymakers and business owners are pioneering new avenues of trade for our country. Senator Griffin said the Bahamas Trade Commission launched the National Trade Diversification Strategy 2 years ago for this very purpose.
We recognize that by relying on a narrow set of imports and exports makes us vulnerable to global uncertainty. In this era of shifting trade blocks and geopolitical instability, the need to diversify has become not just strategic, but now urgent. This is why we are turning to Africa. African nations can be a stable and affordable source of fresh produce, building supplies, raw materials, value-added products, and so much more for the Caribbean. In return, the Caribbean can be a vibrant, loyal, and lucrative market for African goods and businesses.
He explained why trade between both countries is beneficial.
This is only the beginning. The Bahamas sees much to do with Africa and with Ghana in particular. We are now on the ground floor of a new era, and from this level, we can build something extraordinary. African businesses looking to go global will find in the Bahamas a stable and respected democracy, a robust capital market, access to international banking and finance systems, and an English-speaking investor-friendly jurisdiction in the heart of the Americas.
In a world where the temperature of trade is changing and tariffs are rising, the need to source affordable quality goods from new markets has become even more critical. From Accra, Ghana, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
All right, thank you so much, Felicity, and do be safe. Well, coming up in the Bahamas tonight, more details from last night's brazen shooting. You're watching the National Report. More news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Oh.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
What is this? Oh, ghost pepper burger. Chicken. I always at Popeyes, so me just come and taste that chicken.
Yeah, that's spicy food.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new crew?
And dreams become your life.
This is my time.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Welcome back. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. Chaos and bloodshed shattered the calm at Porter's Key dock while the Awa Key last night as gunfire erupted during peak hours, leaving one man dead, another injured, and dozens of onlookers scrambling for cover in what witnesses are calling a brazen attack. Corville Python reports.
Mid-Tuesday morning at Arawak Key, and there was little to show that only hours earlier it was the site of a deadly shooting. The incident taking place at the Players Club, which is a part of Romelda's Kitchen. Police Chief Superintendent Sharia King says shortly before 11 Monday night, officers from the nearby Arawak Key police station responded after hearing gunfire from the establishment. When they arrived, they found a man fatally wounded.
The victim was in an altercation with another male. That male produced a firearm and discharged gunshots in the direction of the victims.
Both the man killed and the other man shot are both believed to have been in their 30s.
The second victim was shot to the upper body, where he was transported to the hospital and is presently in stable conditions.
And the association representing businesses operating here at Arawak Key providing some insight on the business establishment where this incident unfolded. They tell us that that business had been warned in the past. Rodney Russell is the president of the Arawak Key Conch Fish, Vegetable and Food Vendors Association.
A few months ago, I sent a letter to this establishment advising them about the loud noise, the vulgarness. I received a document from them saying that it's not them. Now today, I stand before this place where a young man has lost his life. It's deplorable.
Overall, he says Arawak Key is safe. Still, he worries that incidents like this are bad for business all around.
When we as a country fail to enforce our laws, citizens take the law in their own hands, which is not good for our sustainable growth and development of this country.
Russell says the association plans to meet with the establishment's owners and does not rule out possible disciplinary action. Police, meantime, are on the hunt for the suspect responsible for this incident and are appealing to anyone with any information to come forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corville Python.
Thanks, Corville. Well, just one day after making an appearance on Easter Sunday, Pope Francis, head of the Roman Catholic Church, died on Monday morning. International reports say his death was due to a stroke and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. Tonight, millions around the world remember him with fondness, including world leaders. And here in the Bahamas, a book of condolences was opened at the Catholic Cathedral, where the Prime Minister was among the first to sign. Corville Python has the details.
Prime Minister Philip Davis arrived with Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Cathedral Tuesday. There, they were met by Deputy Prime Minister Jester Cooper, as well as Supreme Court Chief Justice Irene Winder. After signing the Book of Condolences, Mr. Davis recalled fondly meeting Pope Francis nearly 2 years ago. He remembers him as a man of the people and an ally in the fight against climate change.
That meeting, I can say I met a humble person, a man who had time for people, who expressed his concern not just for people, but for the planet on which we live. At that point, he and I met because he had just issued his laudatum on climate change and its impact on the world, reminding us as humankind that the world was entrusted to us to manage with care, and that care seemed to have been missing. And at the same time, he was recognizing that something had to be done.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard sharing similar sentiments, calling Pope Francis's passing a loss for Catholics and for the world.
He was a fierce advocate for small island states. And in the Catholic community, he was well known for his activism around marginalized communities. And so we saw him as someone who expressed values that we believe have made a difference globally, and values that should inform.
Housing and Urban Renewal Minister Keith Bell is a practicing Roman Catholic. This loss for him is deep and personal.
For me, for him, I'll always remember his famous words, which remains, one who has mercy does not fear death. And those words resonate with me at his passing.
The Book of Condolences is open for signing until Friday. A memorial service for the late Pope will take place at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral later this week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Meantime, President of the Bahamas Christian Council and the Bahamas Baptist Convention, Bishop Dalton Fernando, among the religious leaders paying tribute following the death of Pope Francis on Easter Monday. He says the late pontiff exemplified humility in the service of God.
I extend these condolences, particularly to the denominational leader, Archbishop Patrick Pinder, and all of the Bahamians of the Catholic denomination here in the Bahamas on the passing of Pope Francis. Pope Francis made history when he became the first Latin American to be elected to the papacy. He was a very humble man who used his voice to advocate for the least among us. He also highlighted issues around the world of great consequence to humanity.
Also noted Pope Francis leaves behind a lasting legacy.
Final address on Easter Sunday, the Pope spoke about love. The same love that unites Christians around the world, no matter their various denomination or tradition. He spoke from the heart, and he blessed an entire world. Pope Francis was an example of servant leadership, being a man who ascended to the highest post within the Catholic Church. It is a lesson to all leaders around the world that we should seek to remain humble, although exalted to high leadership.
Members of the Progressive Liberal Party mourning the loss of Grand Bahama resident, businessman, and stalwart councillor Artis Neely. PLP National Chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says Neely was a champion of the progressive cause who served in leadership positions within the party for decades.
Go-to person for so many of our leaders, from Lyndon Pindling's time to Perry Christie's time and now to Brave Davis's time, and helped to choose who would serve West Grand Bahama, a place he championed and for which he thought was the universe, the center of the universe. And this dates back to Henry Bowen, and it dates back to Moses Hall, to Obie Wiscombe, and now today to Kingsley Smith.
Well, stay with us. More news is in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Get ready! You Be Fit Fun Run Walk Bike Skate Push Race Weekend is coming! April 25th through the 27th. Complete your 5K, 10K, or 15K virtually. Or join the big race at the Oaksfield campus on Saturday, April 26th at 6 a.m. Form a team and register at Chapter 1 Bookstore or online at ubfit.ub.edu.bs. Thanks to our title sponsor, Doctors Hospital Health System. Platinum sponsor, Baker Tilly. Gold sponsors, Island Law, Commonwealth Bank, and Fidelity Bank. Bronze sponsor, Shell Western Supply and Trading Limited. Additional sponsors include Deloitte, J.S. Johnson, BWA, Commonwealth Fury Limited, Nassau Agencies, Bahamas First, NUA, Caribbean Bottling Company, John Bull, Thompson Trading, Leno, Walk-In Clinic, and BTC. You Be Fit Year 8, Saturday, April 26th. For more info, call 424-8887.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time. Limited time.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Welcome back to the Bahamas tonight. Marlena and LaDawn joined us live with a sneak peek for Access Now. Ladies, I know that there was a lot of fun over the weekend. It's back to work, but I'm sure Access Now has some fun for us. What can you tell us?
Devontae and Malena, have you guys seen the large amount of Easter egg hunts happening around town for the Easter holiday?
Oh, yeah.
I think the parents are having more fun than the kids, right?
They are. I mean, you watch the little ones, you're scared they're going to get trampled. It's the parents going like, move, it's over there. Like, they're crazy.
Oh, another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yes.
I may have been one of them, but I can't lie. All right, so stay with us. Our feature is up next. You're watching the Bahamas tonight.
Diet-friendly special.
Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group present the Legends of Rake Spray. Get ready for the biggest names in Bahamian music live on stage. KB, Funky D, Gino D, D-Ma, Sweet Emily, Simeon Alton, Veronica Bishop, and more like the Singing Bishop. Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 10th at the Farm, Marshall Road. Gates open at 6 p.m. General admission 80, VIP 120. Tickets available at Missouri, Bookie Brand at the Beauty Shop. Go location. Skyboxes and Sky Pod. Call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Saturday, May 10th. Come by boat and play and experience the Legends of Rake and Scrape. Brought to you by Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group, VSC Distributors, Missouri, The Plug, The Beauty Shop, Bahamas, Bookie Brand, and Caribbean Wines and Spirits.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new room?
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Well, happy Earth Day. Today we're celebrating more than just a date on the calendar. We're celebrating the power of knowledge, action, and a greener future for our islands and future. West Calix Forbes has tonight's Green Thumb Beat.
The Department of Environmental Planning and Protection is on the move today, making Earth Day not just a date, but a real-life lesson. Right now, officials are at C.C. Sweeting Senior High School, where they're meeting with the school's Environmental Science Club. This year's Earth Day theme is Our Power, Our Planet, and the message is clear. It's time to fight back against pollution and protect what we love the most, our beautiful Bahama land. Earth Day is an annual event celebrated on April 22nd to raise awareness and support for environmental protection.
We are a country, we depend on our earth. We get tourism dollars from the lusciousness of our environment, our sun, our sand, our sea, and most of us spend our days every day working in the environment, whether you're in a hotel or whether you're like myself working to protect the environment. Much of what we do every day is based on and focused around the environment.
Dr. Neely shared some eye-opening truth. Only 15 environmental specialists are responsible for the monitoring and protecting the entire Bahamas. Yes, you heard that right. Just 15 people for 700 island rocks and keys. That's why Earth Day here isn't just symbolic. It's essential.
We're going to talk with these students about what is it that they need to become one of us. Environmental officers that work in the government, what we need to do to conserve and protect our environment. And really want to hear from them to see what their interests are and how we could help them become better eco-citizens and earth citizens.
She also emphasized something powerful. There's a place in the environmental world for Bahamian students. We need you, she told them. The Bahamas needs you.
And so we're starting younger. I'm so happy to be with this group of students behind me who I'm looking at them as my replacement, as the officers to replace the current officers in the department. And so I think the message is taken up. We have heard back from quite a bit of students or schools that were closed but would like us to come at later dates. And so I think that it's spreading far and wide, and we're here to continue to spread it even further.
Today was a perfect reminder that Earth Day isn't just global, it's local. And here in the Bahamas, our environment isn't just where we live, it's who we are. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Thanks, Wes. Well, that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Sickness on the job is a possibility. During this time, the NIB sickness benefit